Module 3, Study Skills and Assessment. Study skills. Skills and aids that help students learn more efficiently and understand or comprehend the material they are reading, viewing, accessing, or listening to. Adjusting one's reading rate seems to be one area that is noticeable in students as they progress through the grades, becoming most notable at the secondary level. It is evident that some secondary students learned one rate of reading and stuck with it no matter what they were reading. In fact, ask yourself this question from Module 2. Did my reading rate change as I read the chapters? It looked overwhelming when listed under the reading assignment, did it not? What did you do to adjust your reading rate? The answer to that question is critical to helping students you will have in your grade level or subject area. You simply do not read the same way for everything when reading from text. Formative assessment can take many forms, but they all rely on information collected from either structured formal activities or informal observations made during the process of instruction. Summative assessments usually come at the end of a classroom process or activity and aim to provide a summary of what students are able to do as a result of instruction. Performance assessment is a general term used to describe assessments that require students to demonstrate skill and knowledge by producing a formal product or performance. There is a lot of emphasis placed on assessment and testing in today's schools. The value of assessment, formative, summative, and performance, is to inform teaching decisions. In this course, you have been given two assessment opportunities: formative through threaded discussions, summative through quizzes, and performance through your performance projects. While the threaded discussions provide ongoing information, quizzes provide information concerning your comprehending the reading of the material, and the performance projects provide information about your ability to take the material and do something with it. The ultimate goal is, are you getting it? For your discussion thread, you will respond to these questions. What challenges do you see during instruction in the need to both monitor your students' learning and maintain the right level of tolerance? What is likely to be difficult for you about doing both more or less at the same time? Your reading assignment will be Unit 6, Study Skills. You're going to look at adjusting reading rate, memory and study aids, and listening, and then assessment. Chapter 4 looks at formative assessment. Chapter 5 looks at summative assessment, and Chapter 8 looks at performance assessments, and there will be a quiz over these chapters. Your performance project, your study skills assessment, you may focus for adjusting reading rate. You may focus on one or more aspect of adjusting reading rate from Chapter 21 based on your chosen text. So you're going to look at increasing rate, decreasing rate, skimming, or scanning. And you're going to answer two questions. Based on the selected text, what emphasis from the above choices might be needed to read the text successfully? And describe this in your own words. The second question will be choose either an explicit instruction or reinforcement activity provided in the textbook for your choice and explain why. For memory study aids, you may focus on one or more aspect for memory and study aids from Chapter 22 based on your selected text, and you'll answer these two questions. Based on the selected text, which structure or structures would you use for helping students remember? Second, choose either an explicit instruction or reinforcement activity provided in the textbook for your choice and explain why. When you look at listening and assessment, you will address both types of listening as explained in Chapter 23 for the selected text: aesthetic listening and efferent listening. Based on the selected text, what opportunities would you provide for aesthetic listening, which is listening for enjoyment, and efferent listening, which is listening for information? Choose one or more reinforcement activity for each type of listening and explain why. Under assessment, based on the selected text, develop an assessment as explained in Chapter 4, 5, and 8. Align the assessment with text for your grade level subject area. So you'll create an informal or formative assessment and make sure it aligns with text TEKS. For formal summative assessment, you'll make sure that what you create aligns with the text as well as the performance assessment that you will create. You may use an assessment already developed, but it must be appropriately aligned with text. Submit to Module 3 Dropbox, Study Skills and Assessment. Partner or group needs only one member to submit a completed document. Don't forget to include all the names that were in the partnership or group.